it's recording.
Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Reese, and I'm here with my two closest friends, Hakeem and Jason, and we make up the diversified.
And do it over again.
Start that over,
Hakeem.
I thought you were done. My bad.
Yeah, this thing does that every time.
I thought you were done because it's like a slight little pause.
He be eager, man. He's like, hey, I'm here.
Oh, my bad.
We see you.
Hey. All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, what's up, everyone? It's Reese, and I'm here with my two closest friends, Jason and Hakeem, and we make up the diversified gentlemen.
So wait for Hakeem to come in here with an early, hey y'all.
I can't help it.
Hakeem, what's up? Let's talk to the people, man.
Hey, man, I'm excited to be here, man. I'm just excited.
Dude, love talking. Go ahead, man.
Just ready to spread some knowledge.
All right, today we're going to get into why choosing the perfect circle is so important. So with that, y'all tell me about how you feel about having a close circle of friends and picking and choosing who you basically deal with on a daily basis.
Change your life. I would say the friends that I have, man, like I make sure that they're life changing. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be a group of guys and women that are always looking forward and ready to move to a better direction. And that's who I rock with.
One time I don't know where I heard it from. The guy said, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yep.
You know, you can learn from, you can learn from yourself. You know what I mean? I like to be around people that know a little more than me about a lot of things, you know. But at the same time, you got to stay grounded. You know, you got to stay around people that understand you, but just be careful of people that think the exact same as you. There's no growth in that, you know.
Yeah. Choosing people that the exact same as you, or don't call you on your BS. You know what I mean? That could be just as dangerous. Like, this is Reese. This is how he is. You know, why don't you tell him that? Why don't you correct him? That's just him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could be just as dangerous too. You know. Yeah. So we all came from somewhere, right? So when you're a kid, you don't pick and choose where you go to school. So usually your closest friends are your classmates, or people in the neighborhood. Have you kind of matured from that? Are those people still in your life? Or when you got a little older, did you kind of outgrow them?
No, I got partners that's still cool with from childhood, It's a small circle. I say it's about maybe 3 or 4 dudes from like childhood that I stay in contact with, that we still can talk, we still can vibe like we never left. Like haven't been gone for them forever. It's no problem at all. But you think back on it, it was based on geography. That's how we found our friends. That's how kids are. You go somewhere, wherever you're growing up, your friends will be around you. Simple as that. This is basic geography. And for me, those folks know you most. They know when all your dirt when you were a kid doing something stupid. There's a lot of stuff I did that some friends could tell you a lot of stories. They know you inside and out. These dudes that I boxed with, like not exhibition, like fighting in the middle of the street, arguing over something stupid. One of my best friends to today, man, we got a fight over something just stupid, like bloody faces, but we're still cool. You've been through that stuff together when you're younger. And as you mature together, But then there are those that you have those ones that you're like, nah, we're not like we used to be. We can't be cool now because they have not progressed, just emotionally.
Yeah, they're still stuck in the times, living the old days.
Oh, yeah.
The good old days, yeah.
Yep, exactly. Like, I have a small group, unlike you, Jason. So I got a small group that I'm like real cool with from school, from back in the day. And I have my very small group that I'm real cool with, since I joined the military, that I consider like brothers. And I say one thing that's beautiful to me is introducing my old like high school, elementary, middle school friends to the guys that I met in the military. You know what I mean? Like that's a beautiful thing to me. But yeah, I mean, then you have those guys that aren't trying to do anything, and I have separated myself from them. And I mean, it's tough because, like, for me, I want to see everybody succeed, right? I want to see everybody do well. But some people just get stuck in their ways and not willing to change. So it is what it is, man. If you're not willing to change, I gotta go.
One thing you hear back in the day, you go home sometimes, "Oh, man, you changed." Like, "Yes, why haven't you? We both should have been
No,
changed
you
by
ain't
now."
changed. That's what it is. Like
Yeah.
you ain't changed. I mean, it's crazy. I think you said, like, these guys that get stuck and living in the past, it's like their best days was high school.
Yeah.
I don't want my best days to be in high school. Like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
good. If that was
very
your,
short time in
that's
a
a
very
such
long
a
life.
such a short time. You're speaking
Yeah.
4 years of your life. Like, nah, man. It's if that was your best time and you're 30 plus, you might want to reevaluate your situation.
You like
Something ain't clicking.
Al Bundy talking about that legendary 8 touchdown game when he's
Yeah,
50 years old.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's crazy, but it's that's reality, and that's what we're
Mhm.
faced with.
Yeah, I'm an only child, so growing up, so I'm an only
That
child. My
explains a
mom
lot.
was an only child, and man, brother, you don't get your like some red lights out your head, boy. But being an only child, and my mom was an only child, and then my dad had one brother, and then he didn't have any kids, so I didn't even have no first cousins. So when I grew up, my the friends I made, I would say like after 12 years old, got really close. I got really close with, through high school. And, you know, essentially 2 or 3 of them, I got real, real close with. And like one of them, like I talk to every day still. One of them is a legend because I brought him around you guys when we went to DR. He a
Man.
fool. I talk to him weekly. And then one of them I kind of I don't know, we got real distant. He went to college, and I'm not sure if, he outgrew me or vice versa. But I think it was just natural basically where I just think, him going to college, me going to the military, um, I guess just naturally we grew apart. I think it's all love still, but then there's those that don't happen naturally. It's the deliberate. Yeah, man, I can't mess with you no more because this is all you talk about. This is what are, we are two totally different people, and it's cool when I see you, but yeah, I just we're not going to ever be quote unquote friends again.
Mhm.
If that makes sense.
It's that thing too, man, where it's like, I use the word balance, but people will look at you as, "You think you're too good, to kick it with us or talk to us." It's not that at all, it's that we think about different things, you know what I mean? It's not saying, I'm better than you by any means or, you're worse off. That's not what we're trying to say, is that your mind framing and the way you think is just differently. I don't care what circle it is. If you're going down a road that I don't really vibe with, I'm not gonna be around you. As simple as that. Like, if I'm over here talking about, the next stock breakout where we're talking about the stocks, and you over here talking about something completely irrelevant that's taking money out of my pocket, we just don't vibe. That's all it is. I'm not gonna give him a stiff arm, but I'm not going to engage in conversation for a long term.
That's a really good point. So a lot of these guys that I'm speaking about personally, like, they're good dudes, good fathers, good husbands, whatever the case, but their direction in life doesn't it's not equal to the direction I'm trying to get to. And once again, it's about comfortability and complacency. So they're comfortable with their situation. Not saying I'm not comfortable in my situation, but I don't like being complacent.
Hmm.
So I'm always looking to move further. There's nothing wrong with the way people live comfortably, right? If that's the way you want to live, that's the way you want to live. I'm not cool with complacency. So if you want to be complacent, we really don't have much to talk about. Now I'll try to sway your way of thinking to, hey, look, there's a lot more to this life than what you know. But if you're not willing to accept that and try to move forward, then I mean it is what it is. So we gotta, I gotta keep you at arm's length. I gotta give you the Heisman.
It's that word you
Yeah,
said,
I think
comfort, man. That
yes,
comfort is
yeah,
straight death. When you're comfortable, that means you are no longer growing. We had this conversation offline a while ago. How I view comfort. I think comfort is like stagnation. When you're comfortable, you sitting there, you nice and warm and toasty, you good to go. Like growing up in your parents' house, that's comfortable because everything's done for you. But it takes stress and it takes being uncomfortable to grow. That's simply what it is. We use the analogy of a diamond. My daughter all the time, I always tell her, you know, you gotta be like a diamond. Diamond takes a lot of pressure, a lot of violence to create. But when that violence and that pressure is done, look what you get. Something strong, something shiny, something beautiful. It's the same thing with people in their life, man. When you are comfortable, you are no longer growing. It takes that stress of you going through whatever you got to go through to be able to progress, whether it's financial, social, um, family, whatever it is. You have to have that stress. You have to have it. You got to be uncomfortable to be able to grow.
yeah. I think too this life experiences. So your single friends are going to think differently than you. If you have kids, if they've never left their immediate environment, and you've been everywhere. When you come back, you're only talking about if they're only talking about their immediate surroundings, that may be a turnoff because all you thinking bigger than that.
Hmm.
And sometimes you may not have to cut them off completely, but you keep them in this I guess in this little box because they unfortunately can't grasp what you've seen, and that's fine, right?
Right.
But then you have those that are toxic, like those when you hang out with them, you're like, oh man, I'm trying to make it back home alive. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be in cuffs, and you still on this. I got too much to lose. Yeah, I can't hang out with you because this is risk, basically risk that I don't want to take. You know, and I think the best feeling is when you get those friends where you could talk about any subject, right? You could talk about family, sports, music, investments, buying a home, travel. Man, when you find those guys or gals, man, you keep those people close to you because that's not hard to find. Because I got my friends to talk about, you know, the music, like I call it the dumb stuff, the silliness, when we talk
Right.
about music, sports, and that's it. And man, those people are great for that. And I got the people that if I need to go to the club and have a good time, you got them. But then you got, your close, we could do it all, we could
Right.
do it
Right.
all.
And you got to have that balance too, man. Like I always say that is that people that can talk all of it. You talk about those simple things, you call them dumb things, simple things, and you talk about those things that are important, like building your wealth up, building your money up, taking care of your family. And you find those friends, and you're good. Like
Yeah,
you'll be
Yeah,
good.
but there's a difference between also having those people that talk about it and are about it, and those that just talk about it, right? Because it's easy. It's
absolutely.
always
Man.
Yeah,
easier said than done. We meet a lot of people that do a lot of talking, but if you're not actively participating in what you're talking about, you're probably going to fall into the wayside. Like you're
Yeah.
yeah,
an associate. You know what I mean? So, um, yeah, we can talk about it, but you better be doing it too.
But I know a guy right now, man. Always talk real estate to those that want to listen. They don't listen. I don't talk to them about it. I had one guy I talked to about it. His reply was always, "No, no, I'm not getting into that, man. That's too risky. It's too risky. You might lose too much." I'm like, "Oh, cool. If you lost some stuff from doing real estate, oh no, I don't get into it, man. Like, well, how do you know how risky it is and what's your
Exactly.
opinion of it? You
Yeah.
never done it.
Yeah.
If you went out there and did it and maybe and lost big, cool. I want to listen. What happened? What went wrong? I'm gonna learn from that from your mistake. But if you don't have the experience in it, you don't have an opinion in it. As simple as
Hmm.
that. So that talking thing, you're right, man. People talk, 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 but they're not doing anything. I'd rather
Yeah.
talk to a guy that tried something and failed horribly at it than somebody that talked about doing it but never took that step. I can learn
Hmm.
so much from somebody else's failures and my own and talk about it, no problem at all. It's those that haven't done but talk as if they have. And you so right when you
Yeah.
say that. It can be frustrating.
Yeah, very frustrating. And I'm not even talking about like, someone that, like, for instance, you have one occurrence or two occurrences where, you thought about it, you talked about it, and it just never came to fruition, right? For
Right.
whatever reason. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those people that, no kidding, talk as if they're in it. Whatever you are talking about, whether it's, finances, real estate, whatever. And then you find out they're not doing any of it. It's like, come on, man.
Mm.
Like you're just blowing smoke.
Yeah, the Mr. Me Too or the one upper,
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
yeah, I'm looking into that too. Oh yeah, I'm about to drop a bag on it too. Or yeah, as soon as this happens, I'm gonna get in it, and then it's how's that going? Bruh, let me tell you, this happened. So now I gotta wait. What you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and that just comes with the territory. But do you think that it's like a personal duty to, basically reach one, teach one? So you get that knowledge, and though you don't believe this person may take it instantly, being that they your boy or your homegirl or whoever, that hey, I'm gonna try to instill this in them, because it's a duty basically. Do you go by that?
So I have a major go ahead. I had a major flaw with that. I learned something new, and I'll run somebody and say, "Hey, man, you gotta do this, this, this. This will make you progress and all that," and it turns people off a little bit. So what I kind of learned to do now, it makes it easier, is let folks know what I do, how I invest, what I invest in. That way they know that I do it. That way, if they hit that bug where they're interested in it, they can come ask questions. I found it's a lot better if they ask you a question and then you give them the information. They receive it better. If you come at people, hey, I did this, you should try this too, less receptive to it. First, you're coming at them about it. It wasn't their idea. But if they know they can come to you and ask the question, people are a lot more receptive to it. I'm finding that as I get older, that now I kind of sit back. People know what I do. I sit back and they ask a question. I'm all about giving them information. I'll guide them through whatever they need to do. If I don't know the answer, we're gonna find out who does know the answer and go towards them. But as far as me pushing forward, each one teach one, I don't do it as much with adults. Kids, yes. I grab a kid that want to listen. They getting this now. I'm gonna hit them like a water hose. I says, but for adults, I don't do this much. Just because I found that it's not as receptive if you push the information to them. Now, if they're asking you, then I kind of unload on them.
I don't feel like it's personal duty. I don't, because for whatever reason, it just sounds like work to me. Like, like I like the fact that I'm able to spread knowledge about what I know. Um, but there's a caveat to that. I'll bring it up. If you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But I'm not going to just keep on repeating myself trying to get you to change, you know what I mean, or listen to me. Like, I'll give you a couple of times, and after that, it's like, all right, I guess you don't want to. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the way I'm coming off. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I definitely believe in, reach one, teach one, for sure. I mean, we should all strive for that. Um, but I don't look at it as like a personal duty. Like, if it comes up in conversation, yeah, I dabble in that, or yeah, I do own a house. Like, what do you want to know, or do you own a home? Like, how can we learn from each other?
Mhm.
I try to make it more of a personal conversation, and just like, hey, look, you need to sit down and listen to me because I know what I'm talking about. Like, I don't like to come off like that. But if you don't want to listen, I'm not going to push the issue, for sure.
I mean, I'm torn, especially like I said, being a only child, and the people that are close to me are like really close, and I really consider like brothers, right? Because I don't have any more siblings. So but then on the other end, and you definitely know this, Hakeem. I go by had to write it down. It's the KTNNFAM. Keep them new
Yeah.
around me. Like, bruh, like when I come to you and it's new people, I'm like, yo, like no one told me that you was gonna bring new people, because I wouldn't have came, because I just don't like and sometimes I'm pleasantly surprised, but most of the time I'm like, I have no, not only do I have no rapport with this person, I have no um uh nothing in common with this person. So, and I don't know, being an only child, like you was laughing at Jason, or me being a Taurus, but like when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta be like, well, I gotta, so and so's drunk over here, so and so's. I'm like, well, that's not my problem. Especially that's not my friend.
Yeah.
That's your problem.
That's
I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? But on the other end, for getting into this, that group chat we started for the Black and Brown investors. When we first started, my mindset was like, everyone, if you're gonna be a part of this group, you gotta share knowledge. You gotta bring, basically to the picnic, right? And then me, I was deleting people. All right, you ain't
Yeah,
said
man. I
nothing
was like,
in the week.
Reese, slow
yeah.
down, man. Give him a chance.
Reese
Now the
was
person ain't say nothing in the week. This is
dictator.
a great opportunity. And then I realized, everyone learns at their own pace.
Yeah.
Some people are intimidated. So then I did kind of change my mindset to kind of look at it as a duty that, all right, man, this is, even though we may not be getting that feedback, this is affecting a lot of people positively. That's affecting, potentially their friends and family and kids. And maybe it's a calling, or maybe it's just like, Jason being a teacher. I'm pretty sure you had students that you felt like you wasn't getting through to them until boom, you saw something in them. It's like, yo, that's a breakthrough. Like,
Oh
I didn't
man,
see
yeah.
that. Like, I see that improvement. And adults are like that as well. So I'm trying to definitely work on that, because that's definitely a struggle. And thankfully, I got people like you said, Jason. Like, yo, you can't be like, give people some time. Like, you know what I mean? People learn at different levels. People are intimidated, and that's not their personality. And finances are like taboo. Certain subjects are taboo. Um, and for some reason, people think money is, and I don't. Right? I'm like, yo, let's talk about it. Let's share. I'll tell you where I jacked up. I'll tell you about my net worth. And when you do that to some people, they're like, yo, why are you trying to stunt? Why are you basically making people feel uncomfortable?
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's just a crazy balance.
You're right, because you want to help people progress. At the same time, you don't want to look like you're trying to show what you have. Just say, look, you can have this, or you can do this. But the other part of that is you got to have social proof too. You can almost prove to them that what you're saying makes sense, and that you've been there, you have the results. And you got to do that without looking like you're flaunting. And that's
Yeah,
the thing too, man. How do you do that? So what I figured out, just plant some seeds, expose them to it, and they want to get more information. They want that seed to blossom more and grow. They'll ask the question or go research on their own. They don't have to come back to us or to me for information. But as long as they get that bug of knowledge and they want to go forward with that, that's a good thing. As long as they know about it. And that's why I think it is my responsibility to, if I know something, is to spread the information out. Put it out there. Because I know right now, I was actually angry when I learned about investing late. I didn't get it to late 20s. I was like, if I known this when I was 18, man, I could have been like crazy. Crazy. I could have been way further than what I am right now. I'm not complaining now, but I could be way
you could
further.
be Oprah.
Right.
You
Say
could be
what?
Yeah.
Oprah. You could have been Oprah.
Yeah.
Could have been
Yeah. You would
Oprah.
have been Oprah.
That's
Yeah,
why
Yeah.
now I'm so big on teaching these kids at a young, young age. As long as they want to listen and learn it, I'm giving it to them. That way they at least have the information available. That way they at least know. Because my thing was ignorance. I didn't know. I was never told. My grandfather, man, he was big on saving money for a rainy day. So I was a great saver. You could not hold me on saving. I knew how to save, 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 save. But making that money grow, that's where I was a little off, because I didn't know. All I knew about was, save your money in case you need it later on. Then I learned about how that money is seeds for the future and how you can grow it without doing nothing except for putting it to work. Let the money work for you. Then I'm like, why am I just not being told this? I was offended, man. Like, why didn't nobody tell me this till now?
yeah,
That's
exactly.
why I'm like, now that I know it, my responsibility to me, for everybody that will listen. If you will listen, here's the information. Here's what you can do. And the younger, the better. I don't care if they're 8 years old. I try to tell them, hey, this is what you need to do at this age. And by this point in your life, you're going to be here. You know, that way they at least have the information. Now, whether or not they're going to use it and do something with it, that I don't know. But I feel all right as long as they have the information.
again, like when it comes to the real close friends, I almost feel offended when I'm like, hey, all right, cool, I just learned this. This is how you do it. All right, cool, let's get it. And then the next day I'm like, hey, so did you do it? And
Yeah.
they be like, no. Nah. So I'm like, that man, like, you know what I'm
Like,
saying? What else
wasting
do I
my
need to
time,
do?
man.
Bro, we trying to get this money. You know what I'm saying? So you know, people go at slower paces. I will say
Yeah.
there are a couple of folks. It took years to slowly plant the seeds and getting it. Then when it clicked, I was like, man. But now that they're here, they're cruising, and now I'm learning from them. So it was all worth it. You know what I'm saying? It was all worth it.
And don't get offended too. You get offended by people like not doing what you asked them to do. Hey man, buy this. Don't do that. Even you, Reed. I remember back in like what year was that? I've been 2013 maybe. We were in Germany, and you said,
Yeah.
"Hey, Jason, you need to buy a Tesla right now, man. This company gonna be blowing up. You need to buy it." It was
That would have
like
been that would have been
the
14.
14. It was like
That would have
220. I
been
remember it was 220 a share. And at the time,
yeah.
I was
I was telling everybody,
yes, and I was
you
on a
know,
different. I was on a
so
different strategy completely investing. I was like, "Nah, man, I'm doing this, and this." I said, "Nah, I want to buy it. It's expensive right now. I'm doing these other things." Bruh. And now I look back, like I eventually did buy it. It was like maybe 300 by that time I ended up buying it. But if I'd have bought it back when you said buy it, if I just listened and just bought maybe a couple shares or something like that, could have been a different thing, man. But at the time I was focused on what I already knew. You know, I'm focusing on this stuff here. I want to focus on these stocks right now. You know, you said, hey man, buy this right now. 220. Next time it was, hey, it's 240. I
yeah.
was like, all right. And
Man,
now,
I mean, I wish I would have bought more. So as you, I'm looking at myself like, man, what am I doing? You know what I
right.
mean? Like I'm looking back, like, and granted, I was still invested. So that's the whole point. Like I was telling my boy, because now he's at the point where he's like, man, I should have got more of this,
Mm-hmm.
or put more money down. And I was like, look, you in the game right now. That's all that
Right.
matters.
You're
That you
exposed.
are in the game. Before you was sitting back on the sideline, second guessing it and giving excuses. So if you putting, you know, $1,000, or if you putting $100 on Nike or Apple,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, in hindsight, you know, say Pinterest shoots up or Tesla splits, now you look like, man, I should have put the money. They're like, that stuff don't matter.
Right.
You in the game, and that money's going to grow, period. And you still got time. Like you always got time, and it will always basically work out in the best interest.
Right. And that goes back
The
to
best.
even having a friend to recommend those things to you. Because of our
Yeah,
circle, I got you recommending a stock to me. You know what I mean? That's
yeah,
to me, that's important. I love it when somebody send me a text message or, WhatsApp. Hey, you looking at this stock company right here? This is going on. That's the kind of friends you have. You know what I mean? I love that. You know what I mean? When your friends give you information back and forth that's going to help you progress. That's phenomenal, man. It's all about that circle, all about having that circle of friends or social group that's moving forward in some kind of way.
exactly. Yeah, like you know you yeah, because it takes pressure off of you where
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to be an expert in, you know, for instance, when it comes to the long term holds, I feel pretty comfortable. But
Right.
then we got like Hakeem and Jeter, who we're gonna have on later. They're the options experts, right?
Right.
Then I have you, so I can go to when it comes to that the real estate. I got D. I can go to when it comes to like TSP, where I know a little bit about a lot and I'm well rounded. But if I want to dive, if I have like a very detailed, specific question, my network is crazy where I can call someone, pick up the phone, and no kidding, um, get that answer I need within 30 minutes, you know.
Mm-hmm. That was funny.
Yeah.
Was it this year? You started calling Hakeem Sensei. Because I never did options
Mhm.
at all, ever. I was all about
Yep.
just stocks. Stocks. I traded in back and forth, or I hold some long term. He was like, "Hey, the way you doing this, you can do it this way. You do it this way.
You're doing it backwards. Yeah. You hustling back.
Bro." The next day, I tried to say, I'm gonna do what he do. I'm gonna try it out, throw some money in there, see what happens. I said, Hakeem, I owe you a percentage, man. I'm gonna give you at least 10% of this because it's because you told me this information and I acted on it. It came out good. Because he gave me information I didn't know. And I've been in the game for how long investing and still trying to learn something new. I was gonna
Yeah.
listen, we are gonna listen to him. Younger than me, by how many years, but he had information I didn't have. He gave it to me,
Yeah.
he shared it, acted on it, and it came out good. because we got same back to that same thing. Because you got that circle, the people that know more of you, but they're different things. You're gonna progress. You know, it's something I appreciate.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like when we get on um that group chat or having that circle, having conversations with certain people, if two things need to happen, like you need to be inspired
Hmm.
and you need to know that you're gaining something from them. You know what I mean? You need to know that they contribute positively to your life and vice versa. And you know, there's something about them that you're aspiring to become or achieve. And I think if you can look in your circle and say if it's 3 people or 10 people, and you can pinpoint that in everyone, man, I think you're very blessed. You're in a very great situation. If everyone in your circle inspires you somehow and
Right.
brings something to the table.
Yep. Completely. Completely.
Yeah, because it's almost like our boy in Dubai, right? You know what I'm saying? When we went out, it was time to pay that bill. Everyone's like, "Yo, let's contribute," and he waited till everyone paid, and it was
Yeah.
paid. You know, that bill was paid with the tip. It came in like, "All right, what I owe?" I'm like, "Bro, it's paid."
Like, that's
Oh,
paid
okay.
for, man.
Yeah. All right. What? That's it. Yeah. Okay. You know, everyone's got to bring something to the table, and it
Right.
doesn't have to be the same thing. It doesn't have to be the same thing. So, yeah, I truly believe that, and looking within yourself to ensure that you're bringing something to the table. So,
Right.
if you got a circle of friends and no one's calling you for advice, or you know what I mean, or no one's looking up to you, for lack of a better term, I think you probably need to do some self reflection
Hmm.
as to, um, man, what do I bring to the table? You know what I mean?
And what's funny is that you actually can't let everybody in your circle too. That's another thing warning got put out there.
Oh yeah,
I read
yeah,
this. I don't know
not,
where I read this, but it said you can't invite everybody on the ship because they'll sink it if they can't be the captain. You know what I mean? And you got to be careful who you add in there, what their motivation is in your circle, what you tell them and what you expose them to. So everybody's not ready for it. You know what I mean?
Some
Everybody,
people are just toxic.
yeah, you just gotta watch out for it, man.
I mean, I truly believe, and I heard this, back when I was a kid, but misery loves company, right? If I'm miserable, I want you to be miserable. Some people, instead of trying to change their life and do better for themselves, they'll rather just hate on someone that is.
Hmm.
They're okay with just being miserable. Like they find joy in bringing misery to others. And some people are just toxic. I mean, it's just the way of the world. Not everybody is good. Not everybody is good for you. Um, and I had to learn that the hard way. Like I'm more like I'm completely opposite of Reese when it comes to like meeting new people and like
yeah.
bringing people into the
Yeah,
group.
you want to hug
And
everybody.
Reese,
You're like, yo,
Reese,
what's
yeah,
up?
I
Bring
just
it
want to,
in.
yeah, for real. Like
Well,
I'm
hey,
like,
what's
hey,
your
let's just,
number?
hey,
Like,
like
what's your
yo,
number? Let's link.
let's ride, let's
What
link
you doing
up,
for lunch
man. Let's
today,
get,
man? Let's do it.
let's go to the club, pop a bottle or something. Um, but I've learned over the years, like you cannot have everybody get close to you
Can't
because
do
some
it.
people are just toxic. They just want to see the world burn.
And what's crazy is I've learned the opposite. Like I've actually like some of the dudes you brought, for instance, like basically Russell's like the architect of all of that. Like Russell introduced me to you, Jason,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
you,
I
Hakeem.
remember that.
Yeah.
He
Hmm.
introduced us to D. I mean, this dude, like Brendan, and I've gotten something from all of you guys. And I've actually learned that, man, maybe I do need to give people a chance. Or I gotta trust that, hey, hey, Jason, if you gonna bring someone around me, I gotta trust your judgment that you vetted them and that there's a reason for it. You
Right.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I man, it's crazy because I've actually learned try to be a little more open, and it's worked some, and some I was like, yeah, man, like I don't even know why I'm entertaining this person, like man,
Yep.
get
Yeah.
away from me.
Yeah.
But I do get basically that positive energy or just tools to help my life. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's something we can leave with the people when it comes to choosing the right circle or improving their circle? What you got for them?
So one thing I got for him is to improve your circle to begin with is you gotta change your geography if you can. Is 'cause usually your circle is dependent on where you are. So if you have the opportunity to move outside of where you are socially daily, that's gonna change your social group. And that group's going to change the conversation, which will change your ideas. So you've got to be, it's got to be active. It can't be a passive thing. You can't sit back and wait. People that that are going to have a like mind in a way that want to progress or that think on a higher level than you. You're going to have to seek it out. You're going to have to find it. Literally, you're going to have to talk to people, see where they're at, and decide. Yeah, this person is who I want to be around. I'm gonna hang out with them more. It doesn't have to be deliberate, as in I'm gonna get this person right here and learn from what I can from them. Just spend time with them. When you spend time with people, you get to know them completely and what they're all about. Like you said, when Russell introduced you, me and Reese, we wasn't hanging out immediately, but we did. We progressed, cookouts, just houses hanging out socially, got to know each other, and we realized this. Okay, we're in the same frame I am. We're in the same path in life, the same goals. We got the same type of families as far as how we are, our goals and our values through progression. It wasn't like an interview. I wasn't sitting there saying, "So, Reese, tell me about your philosophy on raising kids." It doesn't work
Yeah,
that way.
yeah,
Just natural
yeah.
progression. You'll be able to tell real quick though, this person is it same wavelength as you, or are they not? And then from there,
Mhm.
you got to make it overt and tell them, hey, they're no longer hanging out. You just naturally you don't go places with that person, or you don't hang out with them naturally. You don't have to be send out a message and like I'm cutting you off because you don't align with my life plan. It's not like that.
Mhm.
Let it flow naturally. You know what I mean? But seek it out. You got to seek it out. You
Yeah,
can't just sit back and
gotta be
can't be
open.
passive, man. You got to be active with it.
Yeah. I mean, and speaking in active movement, it goes to personal experiences, right? So you experience life, you learn new things, you learn these are the people that I should involve myself with, and these are the people I should not involve myself with. But that comes with experience. You can't expect to change your group of friends or group of associates without one, like you said, changing your geographical location, but changing the way you live life. You have to experience. You can't be closed off. If you decide to stay closed off, you're going to stick with what you know. You have to be open to change. You have to be open to new experiences, and those new experiences will bring in the opportunity for you to meet new people. And then from there, the vetting process happens, and then you figure out, hey, this person's good for me, or this person isn't good for me. So you definitely got to experience, be actively out experiencing life.
All right. So I agree wholeheartedly with both of you. So I just want to switch it up and basically want everyone to look within to see what do you bring to your circle. So what do you bring to your circle? Why do people um, hang around you, right? So there's one of Reese in this world. So if I'm taking out the equation, um, is everything still status quo? Does the group get better? Hopefully the answer is, nah, there's a void. You know what I mean? Because um I bring something very specific and specialized that you guys could benefit from and that only I can do. And when I take from the group, when I take from you gentlemen, I'm making sure that I'm giving back just as much, if not more. So I don't think everyone sees relationships right like that. I think no one wants to pull up a mirror. Everyone wants to point to the next person. You know what I'm
Good
saying? Like
point.
this person was toxic for me, or this person I outgrew this person. This person, I only hang with people like that make at this status, right?
Hmm.
Um, it's kind of like, well, who are you? Because you're not even at that
Right.
status.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. So just understanding self and what you bring to the table. Yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Dig it. I like that.
yeah.
Well, all right, man. That's our time. We appreciate you joining us. Take care, and we'll get with y'all next week.
Thank
Peace.
y'all.
All right.
Later.